What's up, gurus? It's your boy Pablo, and today is TV Tuesday. Yes, that's right. Every Tuesday we talk about an awesome TV show that we should all know about, and we're going to talk about some of the best parts of this TV show. And without further ado, we are going to be talking about the hit HBO series Entourage. So, for those of y'all who don't know what Entourage is, it is one of the legendary HBO series that ran from 2004 to 2011, and it's the story of four friends from Queens, New York, trying to make it in the movie industry in Hollywood. And this is a great TV show. Honestly, it's one of my top three in HBO. The other one being Game of Thrones. You could put Sopranos up there. You might even could throw in Band of Brothers. But between Entourage, Game of Thrones, and Sopranos, HBO has been one of the leaders in film and cinematography and TV shows for, man, you could say like 30 years. So, shout outs to HBO. They always do a good job with the shows. But in particular, Entourage was one of their biggest hits. And one of the things that I notice, especially in retrospect, is the power of music and how it really shapes the show. In many ways, you could think of the music as the fifth star of the show, apart from the four friends. Because every time the music kicks in, it always completes the moment. It always just is the perfect touch to the show. And I can think about a number of different episodes that with the music, it just becomes iconic. And in particular, I'm thinking about in season 2, where at the very end, at the season finale, when Gimme Shelter kicks in and Vince is talking about home, and it's just like the song choices are always on point, and it just gives you that feeling of, wow, I'm watching great cinema. And that's one of those details that really sticks out to me about Entourage, is the powerful use of music. And then another episode where, and really you can point to every episode in the entire 8 years that this show ran, and you can just, they don't miss when it comes to the music. And I'm thinking now about season 2, the season right before the finale, and when Ari, who is the agent, who is honestly, he like steals the show. He really does. Jeremy Piven does an amazing job as Ari, their agent, and like Ari has just been fired from his basically leading the top agency in Hollywood. Of course, they have competitors, but he's one of the top agents in the city, and he is listening to Stevie Wonder when Stevie Wonder kicks in. For once in my life, I got someone who needs me. And he just has this epiphany after getting fired that everything is happening as it should, and that all of a sudden with this music, he gets the pep in his step, and he feels like he can conquer the world and go out and take on Terrence, his old boss. And again, the music just not only helps deliver the scene and the ending credits, but it's what picks Ari up. It's what gives him that next burst of energy that he needs in order to proceed with this next big chapter in his life, which is running officially his own separate agency. And so throughout this entire series, the use of music is masterful. And so I also want to give a big shout out to the creative genius behind the use of music in this series. That is Scott Vener. Scott Vener, you are a G, you are a genius. Your usage of music in Entourage is absolutely masterful. And again, being such a big fan of the show, you also notice that this guy, Scott Vener, he has been the creative force musically behind so many of the amazing shows on HBO. And I'm talking about Ballers, How to Make It in America. All of these shows were really good. Entourage, of course, being the most famous of all of them. But Scott Vener was the musical director behind all of these shows. And this guy just knocked it out of the park every single time. And when How to Make It in America didn't get renewed after the second season, honestly, I was really gutted. I didn't know where they were coming from, because How to Make It in America was a really good show. And again, the use of music in that show, which was about making it in fashion in New York City, I'll never forget when Across 110th Street kicks in, and this character is pushing his cart filled of his fashion brand clothing that he's trying to get off of the ground. He's just pushing it, and it's playing Across 110th Street, the iconic Bobby Womack song. And I'll never forget, that was one of the most powerful scenes in TV. I'm saying it right now, that was such a powerful moment. For that shot alone, this series needed to continue, and I believe they would have kept doing a good job. But again, you never know what happens in terms of the politics of, what gets greenlit for another season, what doesn't. People will say, yeah, well, it just wasn't as popular as Entourage. They had, Game of Thrones in the works or something like that. But either way, HBO was fine with Game of Thrones and everything. But that was a really good show, How to Make It in America. But again, going back to Entourage, Entourage was what kicked it off for Scott Vener, and what really cemented HBO as the leader of using music in their TV series just so masterfully. And again, every episode of Entourage had the most awesome music selection, and that really helped make the show not only good, but truly great. And so today on TV Tuesday, we want to recognize Entourage as one of the premier shows of all time. And if you've never watched this series, you gotta watch it. It is one of the best. So fun. I watch it with all of my friends all the time when we get together, and after a night out and we're just having brunch. Entourage is the perfect thing. I have so many great memories of watching Entourage with my brother, with our friends, and it inspiring us to just be the best versions of ourselves, and just to go on the awesome journey of life and following your dreams with your friends. And I think that's really at the heart of Entourage. It's about saying yes to the journey of following your dreams, doing it with your friends, having a ball, loving life. And so Entourage really knocked it out of the park with this series, and the music selection was a huge part. So again, Scott Vener, big shout out to you. You are a genius at what you do. And at some point, I would love to work with you on more epic creative projects. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know, what is your favorite episode of Entourage? What's your favorite scene that is using music brilliantly in Entourage? There's so many, and I certainly have my favorites. Actually, while we're on the topic, one of my favorite episodes of Entourage is the Jimmy Kimmel episode, where Drama is having beef with Jimmy Kimmel because he feels that he didn't stick up for him in terms of trying to get into the Playboy Mansion. And Jimmy Kimmel is like, what? I don't even remember that. And they make up on the show. And I love that episode so much. It is one of the great episodes in television. And Drama is just like, great effing night. Great effing night. With all of his boys right there and everybody else around him. And so, I love this show so much. I could go on and on about different episodes that I love. And again, this was one of the great shows of the early 2000s. And the music was so on point. Turned us on to so many great songs, so many great artists, and the cameos were cherries on top. of every episode. So I hope they get back to doing some stuff like that, just iconic shows that influence the culture, influence the whole world to be their best selves. But that's what we have here on TV Tuesday. Let us know, again, in the comments, your favorite episode, your favorite usage of music in the series, and other great shows that use music very well. We'd love to know your suggestions, what you dig. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe here at Ask a Guru TV. We are the coolest channel in the world. We are growing thanks to you all. We appreciate you, gurus. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. It is Wildcard Wednesday. What is the topic going to be about? Will it be music, movies, books, another TV show discussion? Tune in tomorrow and find out. Peace, gurus.